Let's jump back in to our conversation about the passive voice. The biggest challenge with the passive voice is not just how to use it, but when to use it. We'll start with the how. Let me explain the difference between the active voice and the passive voice in English with another example. Let's take a look at these two sentences. The boy ate the dumplings. The dumplings were eaten by the boy. The two sentences are similar in many ways. They are both simple sentences containing a subject, a verb, and an object. They both use different forms of the same verb. The verb tense is the same, the past simple, and they both have the same general meaning. A boy ate some dumplings. But of course, there are differences too. In the active voice sentence, there is a subject, the boy, a verb, ate, and an object, the dumplings. This will seem very standard because in English, we use the active voice in speech and writing far more than we use the passive voice. In the passive voice sentence, the order of the words is different. The dumplings appears first in the sentence. The verb is next. But in the passive voice sentence, we use the auxiliary verb to be, were, and the past participle form of the verb, eaten. To make things a bit easier, we will only consider sentences with past tense verbs in this video and in the tasks that follow. The sentence then uses the preposition by and ends with the subject of the original sentence, the boy. You don't always have to include the agent in passive voice. Look at this example. My test was graded. We don't actually need by my instructor because the agent is implied or might not be relevant. Because using words like subject and object can get very confusing, let's use some different labels to compare active and passive voice sentences. The verb is called the action. The person or thing which does the action is called the agent. And the person or thing which receives the action is called the recipient. In the two sentences above, the agent is the boy. The action is eating, and the recipient of the action is the dumplings. Let's change this active voice sentence into the passive voice. Jack mailed the package to his girlfriend. In this sentence, Jack is the agent, mailed is the action, and the package is the recipient. At first glance, you may think his girlfriend is the recipient. Although she is indeed receiving the package, in this sentence, she is not receiving the action of being mailed. The package is. Take a moment to think of how you would change this sentence from active to passive. Here's the sentence written in the passive voice. The package was mailed by Jack to his girlfriend. How closely does it match yours? I bet you moved the recipient and agent to their correct locations in the sentence. But don't forget to add by before the agent and add to be plus the past participle form of the verb. Although the verb tense does not change, the form does.